The NYPD says combating gun violence is a central focus as violent crime continues to rise citywide. CBS 2's Bauman spoke exclusively with the NYPD's new chief of detectives about his strategies for reducing crime.
A tourist shot by a stray bullet in Midtown. A 5-year-old girl grazed by a bullet in Brooklyn. These are the latest in a disturbing rise in violent crime across the city. Shootings last month were up 76% compared to the year prior.
And we have to work with everybody. It's not just an NYPD problem. It's a community problem.
I sat down with James Essig last week, right before he was sworn in as the NYPD's new chief of detectives, overseeing 6,000 detectives on every major investigation in the city.
As chief of detectives, what is your top priority going into this role?
Well, I think we've all seen the spike in violence. That's number one.
Essig has 38 years with the department and was an architect of the gun violence suppression unit.
We targeted a very narrow group of very violent people, and in a very short turnaround we were able to put them in jail, and violence plummeted.
He plans to use that precision policing strategy in his new role.
Between 1,500 and 2,000 people who have multiple gun offenses, who do our shootings, who do our homicides. That's such a small percentage. If we could take those people off the street and away from the rest of the people, we'll reduce that violence.
So how do you do that?
Existing cases that we've had in the Detective Bureau that have been put on hold for the last year, we got to prioritize them.
Essig says investigators must now catch up on the backlog from the pandemic.
Where we might have taken 100 bad shooters off the street the last year, it's led to an increase in crime.
As a young officer in 1985, Essig was awarded the Medal of Valor for helping a woman trapped when a 35-ton crane collapsed in Upper Manhattan.
The crane was actually teetering off the side actually lowered a couple of us down, and we comforted the victim and talked to her. Hours and hours later, they were able to dig her out.
Now he plans to use his communication skills once again to better community relations.
How do you work on, gaining the trust of some New Yorkers?
And sometimes we're in a bubble, we're in a police bubble. I'm willing to listen to everybody. The community determines what the police are going to be, and eventually we will be what the community wants.
From Lower Manhattan, Bauman, CBS 2 News.